Kayla here, part of ARCEUS-Pokemon, and today we're going to be recapping all 10 Draft League matches for Week 1 of RUDL Season number 6. It was a very eventful week, I'll say. The scores kind of don't reflect that. There were some close games, some really good battles, but a lot of blowouts. A lot of blowouts this week. The rankings have shifted because of that, and without further ado, this is not the order of the battles that were taking place because I think the first battle was the last battle, or it's a random battle in here. It might even be the next one. I don't know for sure. I just went down the list and picked them in that order. So up first we have NJMS Pokemon with the Mienshao Magnezone. They are ranked as the 12th seed, or 12th best team. And we have the New Jersey Jellicents with Gyarados, Kilowattrel ranked as the 6th best team in the RU polls. So, and if you don't know what the RU polls is, that's pretty much just power rankings, and they're gonna update every single week. So, with that being said, let's get into this battle. It was a very hard fought battle on both fronts, but yeah, we'll just watch along. And we do have Terra types, so Terra, there was no Terra on this side. There was Terra fighting Avalugg, and I think that's, yeah, fighting Avalugg. So rocks are going to get up on this turn, flip out, and this is actually some really interesting tech. We're going to see Shift Gear, and you're going to notice that this Reverum is not going to switch. It's not going to switch, and this is going to go for Magnet Rise, and that is because it is indeed Magnet Pull Magnezone. So really interesting tech for the first game. I'm really happy that I got to show it off. It's gonna get a flinch or two, but yeah, Magnezone is gonna pick up the dub. Wo-Chen comes out on a D-Dance Gyarados. It switches, foul play. Yeah, this is a little bit more defensive battle. We're gonna see Air Slash come out. We're gonna see Volt Switch come out. It's just kind of those battles. So Magnezone is pretty much dead at this point. We're going to see a Leaf Storm come out. It is Eject Pack, which is super cool. We're going to see this come in. And you see the Quick Claw did activate, I believe, on the Switch. So, very funny stuff. The Mountain Gale miss. A little bit big to predict a Switch or Berry into Wish. And how many moves? This clicked 3 moves, none of which attacking. And this just kills. This just kills. Magnezone out, forces the Switch into this. It gets the crit and the drop, which is really, really nice. Leaf Storm, kind of not going to allow like knock or some kind of play like that. Sub is really cool. This does nothing. So it's like, what? And it starts setting up. And that's a mirror for, I'm assuming, D-Dance, Dragon, Gyarados. So really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. And Diancie is kind of her thing. It's gonna get parried here and it's gonna go out, but it definitely put in a ton of work, and it's gonna allow, if I could spoil, it's gonna allow Gyarados to, or no, Avalugg to just win. So very interesting. A lot of cool tech on both sides. We saw Eject Pack Toedscruel, we saw Quick Claw Avalugg Hisui, we saw Magnet Pull Magnezone. So some really cool stuff this week for the first match. Heading into the next match, we have Kansas Klefkis, which, yeah, Klefki, that makes sense. They are ranked as the 16th team, and we have Gone Armourouge ranked as the 4th team with Alola, Bellybolt, and the gang. So, very, very interesting match. Overall, you see both teams are very defensively oriented, so would love to hear how many turns you think that this battle's going to take, but we're going to start with lead Tinkaton, lead Klefki, probably going to trade some hazards. Spikes, we see rocks on the other side, pretty standard stuff. We're going to see a Houndstone switch. This on hyper fast because it's gonna be a slow match. So we see below be traded, we see discharge, seismic toss, toxic trade. Yeah, this is gonna be a long one. This is gonna be a long one. Volt switch, bring in the slash. SD lets it get burned, which I don't really like that. Pain split. Yep. Okay. Flame doing its thing. Not clicking Flare Blitz on the fluffy Houndstone for some reason. Don't really get that one. Maybe worried about a Blastoise sweeper. I don't understand that. Yeah, it's just kind of Avalugg-like things. Terra Water Avalugg, I believe. Um, I believe they have Terra Frostlass, but I don't think they ever clicked Terra. A lot of switches. This was definitely a very interesting turns of events. That not killing is kind of, I don't know if it, did it use knock? Because I don't understand why knock was not clicked right there. I don't even think knock wouldn't kill, would it? Crazy. Yeah, everyone's burned. Everyone is healing and burned and statused, and we'll get to the turn. You'll know when the turn pops up, where it's just like, what? Okay. We see SD come out. Okay, keys in. Clef keys in. What do you think Talonflame does? +4 Talonflame. What do you think Talonflame does here? Do you think it A, Flare Blitz? Do you think it B, Roost? Do you think it C, switches on like possible T-Wave, something like that? I guess D, it sets up again. What do you think it does? What do you think it does? You said A. You'd be wrong. It just roost. It just roost on the T-Wave. And now Klefki can just click Foul Play and knock it out, and that is the biggest threat to this team gone. Now Blissey can kind of do whatever it wants. It's not really afraid of a Burn Sand Slash. Houndstone is not afraid of a Burn Sand Slash. It is afraid of Frostlass, but like need chip on it for it to kill. Nobody's afraid of Tank. Nobody's afraid of Alola. And if Alola can go down here, which as we will see, does happen. And now we have Shell Smash Blastoise, and I think you can guess from there it's GG's. Interesting match from both sides. Really was tough to kind of on the power rankings for next week, which you guys will see. Hopefully I'll do a good job explaining it, but very confusing from both sides. Obviously we're gonna see the lower seed get the win, and that's always hype. But really confusing, really confusing from both teams, and we'll have to see what happens next time, or next battle with both of these teams. So very cool match. 62 turns. I think that was the second longest. Moving on, we have probably the match of the week, and that is the 1-seed Steamy Stunfisks, which has Tauros Blaze, Braviary, this whole side, versus this whole side being the Screaming Skull Villains, ranked as the 8th best team. It should be noted that they're tied for 7th. So very interesting archetypes. We have a kind of like Weather Disruptor here. We have Skull Villain to kind of some things. No Brute Bonnet we see. Very interesting for both these teams, and we will see how it plays out. Terra Fire Braviary, just to note, and on the other side, Terra Ground Alcremie. So those are your Terras. That's what the coaches have for information-wise. We're going to see Raichu being able to get a knockoff here, which is just really nice. I didn't really expect Raichu to do anything, so for it to like some kind of roll is especially cool. Oricorio Sensu, unfortunately, going to lose its item, and then do pretty much nothing. Skuntank comes in on the rock slide. I don't think that would have done a lot, and it lands Gunk. So already up 6-5. Have the Mon advantage, which is really nice. Good switch. Not a good switch, I switch. Would have liked for them to stay in, honestly. Like, just click Gunk Shot. There's no reason not to. It is incredibly free. That's just me, but we're going to see Raichu get another knockoff, doing some work before it perishes, and it's suddenly back up to 5-5. I'd say definitely on the Stunfisk side right now, just because the quality of those Mons are really key. Raichu, I feel, is not really that quality. You look at the rest of their team, like, I don't really know what threatens Paldean Tauros. Like, it's Scarf, it just kind of looks over. Like, switches in. Let's see what switches in here. Skuntank, it's gonna die. It's gonna die. It is just going to die not yet. That is what I meant to say. But it doesn't have recovery, and now it's dead. It doesn't have recovery. So it's like, I'm gonna say if you want, you could just stay in. Like, this is not too much of a threat. Now it's a little bit of a threat. Now we see Gardevoir come out on Alcremie. Unfortunately, as you will see, Alcremie is going to get the special attack drop, which is kind of big because Draining Kiss here would have done a little bit more, and that little bit more you probably recover, like, I don't know, 25-26%, and it makes Moonblast no longer a kill, and you actually win that exchange. So, a little unlucky, but Moonblast does have, what, the 30-20% chance, so killing there is pretty big. The healing, which I think is phenomenal, it gives you some momentum, but, like, mattered, I believe, but it's, like, still pretty, over. The Mon advantage, there's nothing for Braviary. Like, this is going to be the struggle of teams playing against this team, is it's going to be really, really tough to prep for the offensive trio. That's why I thought this team was really good. And you just see it here in this match. It just overwhelms the team, right? And this isn't like a bad team by any means. Like, it was a top 7 ranked team, and after this, I believe they jumped up a couple places too. So this is a very talented team, and yeah, just really good. So moving on to next week, we have my team. We have my team. The Cincinnati Willows ranked as the 2nd best team, and the California Crooks ranked as the 7th best team. I will try not to give too much during the match, just because I know that could be a little bit distracting, especially for me. Like, save my stuff until after. Do feel like it's important enough. There is going to be one turn, quickly, there is going to be one turn where it's like, why did you make that play? It's because it was a roll for it to kill, and I wasn't, honestly, I was just like, it's going to kill, and I didn't worry about it, and it did. So, you'll see when that happens. We have Terra Fire, Terra Fire Rhydon, and we have Terra Water War Turtle, and then on my side we have Terra, I believe, Dark Sneasel, and Terra Normal Cabaraja. And here is the turn I was talking about. So, only 3 hits, and I think that was close to minimum rolls, so a little unlucky, but you can see my strategy was just knocking off a ton of times. Like, I'm taking the knockoff trade for a Thunder Wave, like, was kind of my mindset for this match. And their mindset is obviously trying to get any advantage. They're playing the long con, they're playing a Haunter endgame, they're playing a Servine endgame, like, just looking for chip. Like, need this Mon chipped a ton for the Haunter matchup in Servine. Here, I will say I panicked a ton. I don't have Air Slash, that's why I didn't click it. I'm kind of panicking right now of like, what do I want to do? And now it's +4, and I kind of that, so I have to sack him on. Comes out, that's a free armor cannon. It does kill because I believe I have modest armorage. I have to calc this. It doesn't kill, so I have to make a switch, which is unfortunate. I get a free pain split on it, but instead I volt switch because I felt like it was a good momentum play. Even if they didn't make that play, I go into Cabaraja and I'm looking for kills. So that was my reasoning for that. Here I can pain split for free. The Haunter comes in. That's not worst case scenario. I sack, bring in Cabaraja, which can Terra and do something. As you see, it comes in, and I get the para. It's unfortunate. I think I clicked knock, so I don't think it matters too much. I don't know if it kills, but really unfortunate, because now I'm going to take extra chip, and now it becomes a 50-50, and I Terra Normal, and they get the Sludge Wave, and I'm like, oh my god, it's over. Armor comes in, survives, and knocks it out. So, very nice week 1 from me. I feel weird praising myself for that. But yeah, strategy was pretty simple. This team has 6 Eviolite Mons, and they brought all 6. They have 12 Mons total. They saw a good Haunter matchup. They tried to take it, and we both misplayed. Like, definitely inaccuracies across the board, but both played as well as we could. We were trading statuses, I was trading knocks, and my endgame was always going to be armors, especially when Iron Thorns went down, because when that went down I was like, oh, so like, what do I do now? That's why I made the Sneasel play, because I knew if I was going to win this, I needed Armorage, I needed Cabaraja, doing max damage, because those Mons were going to be able to take hits, and they were going to be able to deal out damage. So, very fun match, and we will move along against the 3rd ranked team at the time, with Charizard, Cobalion, and Persian Alola, the Luxio's Livy Legion, against Attack on Titan with Heracross, Pheasantipity, and the rest. Very interesting matchup. I felt like, I felt as though this was a very good test for both teams. I felt like Attack on Titan was a borderline really good team. I was actually extremely low on Luxio's Livy Legion, and you'll see that in the next power rankings. I had a lot of fear about this team, especially on the special side, and Attack on Titan, like, Chandelure just looks phenomenal this matchup. And it's going to draw some ones that Heracross is really, really going to like to see. And I think you're seeing that with the score very, very early on. It just becomes a game of trying to get Chandelure in because it clicks a button for free. And then Fez, gets the poison. It has the Pyapa Berry. Perfect taunt right there. You get it low, you get the kill, and now it's just wrap. So, just a phenomenal game. Especially from the Attack on Titans part. I had a lot of putting this team. I ranked them 8th for my own power rankings heading into the week, and to see that kind of pay off, and to see own ranking of the Luxio's Livy Legion, who for me were ranked 13th, to see that wasn't that big of an upset to me. This felt like, yeah, this was gonna happen. And like I said, are gonna struggle with ground types. They're gonna struggle with special Pokemon in general. And has the highest special stat. You're gonna have to run Vest on, as we saw, Toxtricity. You're gonna have to run Vest on Samurott. You're gonna have to run Vest on Rhyperior. That can be very damaging for your move selection. But fantastic win by Attack on Titan, and we are gonna move on to the next. We're gonna move on to the next game. Have the, at the time, 17th ranked Rampardos, who have Rampardos, versus the Bug Army, ranked as dead last. And yes, that is not a typo. That is, you're not seeing something. I'm not overlaying anything. ARCEUS-Bug is here. The rule is a house rule, pretty much. Both players have to agree to ARCEUS-Bug coming, and it's here. And just a really, really fun match. We're going to start off with Buzz, we're going to start off with Webs, get Hat in, and Hat is going to set up Trick Room, and Rampardos is just gonna, and this turn in particular, it's cinema. It's cinema. ARCEUS-Bug comes in on the first turn of its debut. The broken Uber Goaded Mon gets knocked out by Rampardos, which is arguably one of the worst Pokemon. That's storytelling right there. That is cinema. Yeah, so it's gonna pick up 3 kills just for fun. Quiver Dance comes out, and guess what? Trick Room is back up. We're gonna see a Sleep Powder bounce off, and we're gonna see Mons just be sacked. Araquanid comfortably lives, but from here, I can't win with these Mons. Omega's frail, so yeah. Quick. I know I put that on the hyper fast, but very, very quick matches. I'm trying to get this moving along, but also just, come on. Come on. What were you seriously expecting? Were you expecting an upset? Come on. Come on. It's 6 bug types. It's 6 bug types against Trick Room. And yeah, that's gonna be that. So, moving on. We have a very, very interesting matchup. I think this was the first game played, and it's Rain with the Boston Brelums, ranked as the 19th best team, playing against, I believe, Tokyo Pachirisus, who were the 13th ranked team with Articuno, Dozo, and the likes. Just a really, really interesting matchup, I think, on paper. I don't really know, just with these 6 mons, I don't know how you break Dozo, especially with, Pikachu, unless it's, Ball Thunder, right? Even then, Dawn becomes a free switch. Just see, I don't know how, I feel like this is just a complete matchup, domination from the Tokyo Pachirisus, because there's just no way for the Brelums to actually get momentum and significant damage, and you're gonna have to have coach, and you're gonna have to play extremely well. Your opponent's gonna have to make some mistakes, and we're gonna see Pikachu die on the first move to a Weather Ball. That is amazing. That is just great. That is great to see. Yeah. Now you're just gonna see nothing happen for a couple of turns. It's just gonna be trading some damage. Hazards get up more, some spikes from Clodsire, or we see kind of hazard control, anything. We see Shell Smash, but that's not going to do anything to Dozo, and now you've lost all of any of your potential win con with Dreadnought taking a ton. We see Perish Trapping, Dozo, get used to those two on screen, and these two on screen. But they're both going to try and get something out of nothing. Articuno's not going to take much from here. I just click Toxic, and that's what's done. And that's all you could really do. You see Heal Ball come out, so it's like it doesn't matter. But Double, I don't understand why Articuno was not Terra'd, but it is certainly something. We see Perish Trap not really work. From here, it just becomes a bit of a stall endeavor. You see both of these mons start trading. You see Golduck die. You see Polito die, and from here, it is just that's just game. Like I said, there were some good games, but a lot of them were just one-sided beatdowns, and it's tough to win a matchup when you're this team. When you don't have anything for Dozo, you don't have anything for Chansey. Like, you do have something for Chansey, but you have no counterplay for Clodsire, right? You don't have a ground type. You don't even have a psychic type that could just click a button and get a kill. So yeah, a lot of questions for this team. They were ranked 19th for a reason, but a lot of questions, and hopefully we see some answers, some way of addressing those answers, and let's move on to the actual Trick Room team. Maybe a Trick Room team who are ranked, I believe, as and the Konami cast with Gudra, Lucario ranked as the 5th best team. So pretty high ranked teams overall, and we're gonna see some interesting stuff on both sides. Believe it or not, the Trick Room team is actually a Trick Room team. And that's just not good. That's just not going to work in this matchup. I could, because Cloyster could just come in and do some work, but like, this is just, I'm going to get its kills, but then we see Scarf Gudra, then we see Cloyster set up, and I was like, that is game. And then you saw U-turn just kill. No Icicle Spear. The explanation that we got was, quote, not a lot of ice weakness on the opposing team. So take that what you will. I'm lost for words at why it's Shell Smash Ice Shard and not Icicle Spear or Surf or Rock Blast or Ice Beam. Very confusing. Very confusing. I don't think it would matter. I go Mousehold as a sack and you bring in Lucario, so I don't think it ends up mattering too much, but it's a shame. It's a shame for sure. And we're gonna see Zarina come in, and we're gonna see Slowbro Galar clean up, and then Gudra, Scarf Gudra is going to take the game. So quick 19 game affair. I think it was one of the shortest games that we saw from both coaches' ends. I think it was like 10 minutes of actual, and it doesn't really answer a lot of questions just because of how incomplete this team felt during Deathmatch. If this is the team we're gonna get every week, or something similar, I'm sorry, but this team is just not good then. Like, do not... I get that this team name is maybe a Trick Room team, but you did Trick Room once. You don't need to do it again. You saw what happened. You really, really do not need to do this again. So, really don't like that. And then on this team side, I don't really know what to say. Scarf Gudra was fantastic bring. It just did amazing here. Assuming that this is like Specs Lucario or Lucario, something in the back. I'm still not sold on Gramble. I just need another game. I need some more games with this team, especially in a matchup like this where I thought something completely different was going to come on the opponent's side, and you see we see Shell Smash Ice Shard, which is crazy. Just bring SD Mach Punch if you're gonna whatever. All right, moving on to the second to last game. Oh my god, this team. We have the Hero Hunters ranked as the 15th best team, with Zoroark, Feraligatr, and we have Veilstone Fishers ranked as the 18th best team with Lowkicks, Veluza, and the rest. Interesting teams on both sides. I had a lot of words for both of these teams. I think previous 2 times, this is gonna be the best chance that both of these teams are gonna have to kind of meet over the fan of either of them. So we're gonna see how this plays out. We're gonna see team kind of up their best fight, and we're gonna see some interesting plays. There are definitely some interesting plays, interesting sets for sure. So we already see Leech Seed on a Prankstermon, and we see Zoroark come in. We see Zoroark die. Your best Mon dead. Then we see your second best Mon suddenly extremely weak, and then we see your third best Mon die. Like crazy, 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 crazy. It's crazy because this Mon is gonna putting in work. It's gonna pick up another kill, and it's gonna get another kill, and suddenly it's 3-3. But then it dies. Matchup advantage. Low kicks is gonna end up winning this game. You go Muck, and you just click Poison Fang, and it's over. So I know again that this is going really quick, but just really interesting. It's really interesting seeing both teams play and their play styles and the teams that they draft, and in my opinion how much it doesn't reflect the opponent. Right? Like Skeledirge is arguably your best Mon, and I called it the third best Mon because of how you use Zoroark, of how you use Feraligatr. Like, it should not be doing nothing. It should not be not clicking a move. Like, the fact that Whimsicott clicked 4 moves and Skeledirge clicked 0, it is unsettling. The fact that Zoroark clicked 1 move and Oricorio Pom Pom clicked 3. Like, I think this was poorly played. I felt like this was in Hero Hunter's game to lose, and they lost, and they lost. So both these teams I feel like pretty bleak. I saw low kicks at its best right here, where it was kind of endgame and picking off Pokemon, but your opponent's gonna play like this for a matchup every single week, like probably gonna go 8-0, but I just don't see that realistically happening. So moving on to the final game, we have Texas Pexas ranked as the 10th best team, taking on the Ceaseless Cerulege. That's where I was getting Cerulege from. The 14th ranked team. So pretty close. We have some really interesting mons on both sides. Obviously, big Knucklestack fan, big Mr. Hands fan. Don't Google his name. Texas though, this is just stall. Like, this is just bring up hazards and put in packs, and you've already seen what happens when I'm praying. There's at least Covert Cloak or something for Knucklestack, because otherwise Knucklestack is pretty. It is looking pretty. If Knucklestack gets opened, the rest of the team is just gonna open up completely. Yeah, see the first and second overall pick for their team respectively, side by side, and let's get into this match. So we're gonna see Rotom versus Mismag as the lead. And we're going to see a back and forth affair. We see rocks go up on this side, which is usually great. And then we see defog happen. So that's great. Yeah, no Salt Cure. No Salt Cure. So that does not bode well for this team. And Knucklestack just comes in on everything now. Like, we see Healing Wish, which is great play, but at this point, it's, yep, bring in the sub, and now you're going to pick up a couple kills. You're going to pick up this Mon. Mag wants to come in. You bring in your tank, and it has curse. Yeah, it's over from here. We're gonna see curse set up. We're gonna see Salt Cure. We're gonna see Fortress sacked, and we're just gonna see Salt Cure. And I believe there was a forfeit. I want to say yeah, dead. I know there wasn't. So just a game. I believe first 6-0 of the season. So, yippee for that, but yeah, Knucklestack just won. It just won the game. No prep for it, and that's going to be the dangerous part of Knucklestack. It had a really, really good game, which means people are going to start prepping for it, which means now your other mons are going to be able to take advantage, right? Like, Water type is going to have to run Covert Cloak, or Steel type going to have to run Covert Cloak. Obviously, you could switch it up. You could have a good ground type for capabilities, and then Knucklestack kind of looks questionable, but yeah, Stack being opened like this is going to bode extremely well for the to come, and I'm really excited to see what every team is going to bring to the table. Wish I could go through the standings. We unfortunately don't have standings yet, so that will be worked on. We have Kill leaderboard. We have Claude Zyre at 4, Braviary with 4, Ceruledge with 3, Rampardos with 3, Goodra with 3, Knucklesack with 3, and Feraligatr with 3. So that's going to be your, what, like 6, 7 kill leaders. Going to be really interesting to see in the weeks come how each team is going to be able to adapt. Next week, we're going to be looking at next week's schedule pretty soon. But we have a couple rival matchups. We have a couple of top seeds going head to head. I think we have like top 8 teams going head to head, or like me, Kansas, Klefki, I'm going to see in the PRs, but they got a huge boost. So even though they're not a top 8, 7 team spoiler, they're still, to me, in my eyes, like a really solid team. So very, very interesting week 1 matches, very, very interesting week 2 matches. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you watching and keep paying attention to the league. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff, going to be a lot of interesting stuff. So we'll see you guys next time. Have a great one, and peace.